Shine down! Let's light it up! Illusion shattered! Here we go! Let's light it up! Boring! Useless!
There's quality here. Worthless! Useless! Worthless! Let's light it up!
Dogma shines eternal!
Ad Astra. Thank you for Ad Astra.
Worthless!
Illusion shattered!
Let's light it up! Let me scry.
Decided by destiny!
Lament!
Useless!
Here! Worthless! Here! Worthless! Good.
Everybody stand! Shine down! Now you shall perish! Useless!
Here!
Illusion shut!
Here!
You win this battle.
There's quality here. Worthless!
Delve into destiny. Teamwork is strength.
Get out of my way! Get out of my... Huh!
down!
Let's light it up! Let me scry!
Fate is upon you!
Everybody stand back!
Disappear! Worthless!
The rain stopped. I don't concern myself with the weather.
Useless!
I got careful. Picked the wrong time.
Shadows of
Cheap
fate!
tricks. This will end you!
Boring!
Like this.
Why would anyone want... Forget it. It's not my concern. The rain stopped.
Here! Worthless!
Delved into destiny, decided by destiny. Torn to oblivion. There is no escape. Shadows of fate. Leave my space. Shine down.
Here!
Let's light it up!
Illusion shattered.
Useless!
The rain stopped. I don't concern myself. Why would anyone want... Forget it. It's not my concern.
Time to work! Put your back into it! My work.
Shine down.
Let's
Let
end
me
this
scry.
quickly!
Useless! Here!
Let's light it up!
Delved into destiny.
Evil conquering! Here!
I guess this is it.
There's quality here. There's quality here. There's quality here.
Adventure time! Ha! Everybody stand!
Shadows of fate! Fate is upon you! Now you shall perish!
Lament! Here! Here! Worthless! 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 Useless!
Let's light it up!
Delve into death! There is no escape! Hey, thanks for going and gathering all those materials for me.
Even though most of the Academia's restrictions have significantly relaxed, I'm still a bit worried that the Matra might give her trouble. I need to stay here to keep an eye on the situation. Kale, can you head to Sumeru City and find out why she...
Does it have to be me?
I'd only assign a job this important to someone I trust. Are you not feeling well?
Oh no, I'm fine. I've completely recovered. It's just that if I'm going to see her, I think I need to mentally prepare.
I know. You'll have a tough time if you go by yourself. If we could arrange for someone to accompany you...
Oh, hey there!
Ah, it's been a while. What a coincidence. I was just thinking about asking you to accompany Kale to Sumeru City. Sorry, that's not what I meant. It's just that this matter concerns research banned by the Academia. Not the sort of thing you'd shout from the rooftops. Also, you happen to know about this situation? There are very few people I can trust to be discreet right now. After giving it much thought, I believe you're the most suitable person for the task. It's complicated, and this isn't the best place to talk about it. We'll fill you in on the details once she arrives. You might have heard about her in Sumeru before. Her name is Faruzan, and she's a very experienced senior researcher. Let's just say that a huge part of Ksharowar's mechanical research over the past 100 years have used her academic discourse and manuscripts as their foundation. She is, but she vanished for 100 years because of a certain incident. She only returned to the Academia after being found in the wilderness a few years ago. Because of that, her current personality can be a bit...
I'm getting a headache.
She doesn't have bad intentions, so you don't have to be scared.
I'll try.
Yes, Ksharawar and Spontamod researchers are often quite prejudiced, so I can't trust them with this matter. However, Faruzan isn't influenced by modern thinking. In our previous correspondence through letters, she indicated that she'd be willing to help. It's already past our arranged meeting time, but she still hasn't shown up. I don't think so. With her personality... Anyway, can you go with Kale to the Academia and check on Faruzan for me?
Thank good.
I'm counting on you too. Kale, don't push yourself too hard. Just go there and see what's going on. Our task is important, but not that urgent. If Faruzan really is in some trouble, come back and tell me about it. We can always reschedule our meeting. After all, if she's distracted by other things, it'll affect her ability to help us.
All right.
Sorry, what did you say? Oh, could you repeat yourself? As you know, I'm sure, hearing goes with age.
Farzan, I said that you need to give us an answer.
Ah, yes. And did you forget to add madam when you addressed me earlier?
Your hearing is perfectly fine. Madam Farzan, we don't want to make things difficult for you. However, you haven't been teaching courses or supervising theses these past few years. Isn't this rather problematic as an advisor? Never mind the students. Even other advisors are starting to complain.
And who, if I may ask, complained? If they have any issue with me, tell them to talk to me themselves rather than waste any of your time. You don't have to tell me anything. I very well know that it's those people from Haravatat. How I wish they'd put their time into doing proper research instead.
But, Madam Farzan, it has been a long while since you last made any practical academic contribution yourself.
Academic contribution cannot simply be divided between the tangible and the intangible. The issue here, I believe, is that the reviewer doesn't understand the very nature of knowledge itself. In any case, makes no sense to use a metric like this to evaluate a mentor. Which sage set this rule anyway? I should write a letter of complaint right this instant.
Wait! Madam Farzan...
That's her, all right. But the person with her doesn't look like a Matra.
Shh!
She hates it when people call her young. Her body apparently stopped aging during the year she was gone. So that's why she looks the same as she did 100 years ago. Okay.
Anyway, Akara Crafts and the leader of Kshahrewar would like to invite you to collaborate on this project. They're wondering if you'd be interested.
Kale! Why are you here at the Academia? Are you feeling better now?
I'm much better, Madame Farazan. It's all thanks to the Traveler and the Dendro Archon.
Have you been sleeping well? You seem to be developing some eye bags. Is that brat Tighnari forcing you to stay up late again?
No, it's because I'm a slow learner. It's not Master's fault.
It's good to be hardworking, but you need to take care of your health. I'll have to give Tighnari a right talking to when I see him. I'll also prepare some health supplements for you.
There's...
Ah! And is the person beside you the legendary Traveler? Oh, I've heard much about you before. In fact, I've been meaning to meet you for a while now. It is thanks to you, after all, that the Academia is finally getting back on its feet. Even Kali's illness is...
Madame
I'd wager it's those Kshahrewar dunderheads finding excuses so that I'd go to their Darshan. Say no more. I have no plans to change my field of research.
If you're this unwilling to participate in the collaborative project, you can also consider teaching a class. It might be difficult to teach a course with topics that only fall within Haravatat's subjects, but we can't delay this anymore. You need to give an answer. You can teach a course or participate in a collaborative project. If you don't do either, it'll be hard for me to persuade the advisors and students who have been complaining.
Could you not give me a few more days to consider? This matter has been delayed for so long already.
That's precisely the issue. If you don't give an answer today, I fear that someone will soon escalate their complaints to the sages.
What a waste of free time these folks are. Now you two are here at Tighnari's behest, I take it. I'm sorry, but given the current situation, it looks like I'll have to come over some other day. Of course. I shall need some time to think as well.
What now? She seems so busy. Master said there's no rush, but I know that he's been busy working on something at Pardis Di, so he hasn't returned to Gandharville for several days now. I feel for Madame Farazan, but I still want to ask her to come with us. But if I get her in trouble with the Academia, then she won't have the time to help Master. What should I do? Yeah, that would be the best for them both. I'll check with Master later and see if there's anything I can help him with. But I'm sure he'll say, the best thing you can do now is study hard, so I don't have to give you remedial lessons. Huh? Oh yes! This way she can... So if I also stay and help... that still sounds kind of okay then.
I have to teach students from Haravatat, or owe Kshahrewar a favor. It strikes me that they might be even less happy about such a deal than I am.
We're back, Madame Farazan. The Traveler said that...
Oh! Why, I couldn't ask for more. In fact, I'm rather curious about the type of person the Traveler is. You were... Is that so? Good. It does so happen that I do have something I need help with. Now, should I apply to teach a course with Haravatat, or join the collaborative project that Kshahrewar is proposing? Honestly, I don't want to choose either of them. I don't know if Tighnari's told you about this before, but while my research involves learning about ruins and the mechanisms within them, I don't belong to Kshahrewar, which specializes in researching mechanisms, nor am I in Spontamod, which specializes in researching energy flow. Instead, I'm part of Haravatat, which specializes in languages and...
She has been invited to Kshahrewar multiple times to continue her research, but she's rejected them each...
Just listen to how they introduce themselves. In the future, Kshahrewar will be the only Darshan with the ability to research mechanisms. There's no such thing as exclusivity in knowledge. Besides, the current Kshahrewar is more concerned about how mechanisms can be used in everyday life, while my research involves textual analysis of if they're trying to use the collaborative...
No, that's not it. The request this time is from Akara Crafts, the representative of Kshahrewar...
Oh, respect? Oh, my. Putting aside my ideological differences with Ksharawar, I suppose I must acknowledge this attitude of theirs. At the very least, they're bounds above those decrepit Haravatat fools.
Yeah, Akara Crafts is a pretty nice shop.
Well, since both of you feel as such, I shall first hear this proposal.
In summary, Akara Crafts wants to design a series of early
learning toys.
The academia agreed to work with them because they hope that these toys can help children become excellent researchers in the future.
True. The current academia is in need of some new blood. If the children start learning now, perhaps I can find some talented students in a few years.
Madame Farazan, you still haven't found any students?
Anise, Kasharawar's
Port Ormos? Now there's a place I haven't been to in a long time. I wonder how much it's changed.
I probably can't join you since Port Ormos is a little far from here. I should probably go back and report to Master, and then review today's homework.
No worries. Go do your homework, Kale. Once I'm done with everything here, I'll head over to Pardistii. Thank you. Why, I'd even call this a rare chance for a curious researcher like myself to observe the legendary traveler up close.
Madame Farazan! Oh,
All right, calm down. Let me be clear. I'm still not all that interested in Ksharawar. I'm just here to see how the project is going. After all, you're here as representatives of the academia in this collaboration. The reputation of all research is at stake here, so I will not simply stand by should mistakes get made.
Either way, it's good that you were willing to come. Now, we've given Akara Crafts many ideas over the past couple of days. However, their owner thinks that our designs are too complicated, which will drive production costs too far up.
That's expected. Students who have never had to deal with budgetary constraints probably don't understand how important it is to keep costs low. How enviable.
If you join the Ksharawar, your budget will be as big as you want it to be. I guarantee it.
That's enough. I will not repeat myself. Take me to Akara Crafts owner first, if you please.
All right. He's usually at the slope up ahead recruiting volunteers to test out his toys. Let's just head up. Mamdu, the one I recommended.
Oh, so you're, Madame Farazan?
Yes, that's me.
Oh, wonderful. We haven't been able to make any progress on our collaboration. We've made many suggestions, but Miss Anise thought that those ideas were too simple and wouldn't be effective in training the mind.
These early learning toys are meant to help the academia train future researchers, after all. If they're too simple, then how are they any different from regular toys?
But if they're too complicated, not only will they be expensive to produce considering our production capabilities, but they won't have much broad appeal to Sumeru's children either.
So the design can't be too complicated, but it can't be too easy to play with either.
I remember that in your notes, many contraptions have managed to fulfill complex functions despite using simple parts. Maybe we can do something similar with these early learning toys.
The contraptions in my notes? I didn't create those. I simply took the contraptions in the ruins apart and analyzed them. But now that you mention it, the ruins did have things like that. Do you have a pen, paper, and scissors? I'll make a paper prototype.
You have an idea? Oh, you're done.
Let me explain. These 3 thick lines represent 3 poles. These paper strips of varying lengths represent rings of different sizes. They can be slotted onto the poles and stacked up like a tower.
Well, that is easier to make than I expected. So, how is this game played?
That's very simple as well. You just need to shift the tower from this pole to another pole.
Isn't this a little too simple? Even by the standards of an early learning toy, I mean.
Of course, when moving each ring, the paper strips in this case, you must follow one rule. You can only move one ring at a time, and you can't place a bigger ring on top of a smaller one. It's like building a tower. The rings in the 3 poles must be stacked from big to small. I named this toy Pagoda Stack.
Pagoda stack.
That sounds way too simple. Even I feel like it's missing something.
Give it a try and you'll find out if it's simple or not. I heard from Anis that
It's such a simple toy. There's no need.
Mamdu, let's just do as she says.
Okay, then.
And that's how you play this game. You can all give it a try. Let's see who's able.
You called everyone here for such a simple toy?
It doesn't look like it'll take that many.
Come on, we all promised to help Mr. Mamdu test out the new toys. He said he'd give us new genius.
Ugh, fine. Let's get this over and done with so we can head back and play cards.
Done! It took me 19 steps.
Huh? It took me over 20 steps.
I only needed 18 steps.
Not bad. Looks like you're all familiar with the rules now. Then let's increase the difficulty. The next tower will be 5 layers tall. Now then, give it a shot.
Wait, there's more?
Well, since we're already here, why don't we just give it a try?
An extra layer shouldn't make it.
What's going on? I've already moved over 30 steps, but I'm still not done yet.
I'm almost done. Looks like I'm the
Done! It took me 35 steps.
What?
This pagoda stack toy is pretty fun to play with.
Good. We'll try it one final time. This time, we'll add 2 more layers, making 7 layers in... Mamdu, we've still got quite a few paper strips here. Why don't you give this a go as well?
Do you need that many steps for something this simple?
Madam Faruzan, allow me to try it as...
You were looking at it quite seriously just now. Are you starting to understand the principles and... If you want to test out your hypothesis, you'll just have to play and find out.
Got it.
We don't have enough paper strips left for you, Traveler. However, by the looks of things, you seem to have the game figured out. Why don't you guess what the lowest number of steps needed to solve a 7-layer pagoda stack is? What a shame. You were close. However, you did well. Let's see how well...
If I move this small ring...
I've lost count of how many steps I've taken.
This got a lot harder.
I solved it. Madam Faruzan, it takes 127 steps in total.
That many? But there are only 7 layers.
For every extra layer in the pagoda stack, the move order you need to consider becomes much more complex, and the number of steps required will at least double.
More accurately, it will require double the steps, plus 1 each time. You did well. You didn't underestimate the principles behind it just because it's an early learning toy. The complexity of any given contraption isn't determined by the number of parts it has.
Oh, I see. No wonder you emphasized in your notes that no contraption should...
I see. So even a simple toy can become complex with the right set of rules.
That's right. The rules used for Pagoda Stack are the simplest kind when it comes to ancient I could spend some time picking out all those machines that do something similar and write you a reference book. Once that happens, you can give the volunteers the reference book and paper prototypes and find out which toy is the most popular.
Do you have any other?
Yeah! When can we play with them?
In about 2 days or so, I think. Anis, if you're free, can you help me with the illustrations for the reference?
Of course!
2 days should be enough for us to find more volunteers. Then we can organize a huge conference here. And you'd be most welcome.
Thank you for coming here with me today. I'll be going then. Say hi to Tainari and Kale for me if you can. Once everything here is settled, I'll make my way over to Pardis Di as quickly as I can. You want to ask why I'm unwilling to join them. Yet, putting aside the fact that they're too full of themselves, I actually have no issue with their research methodologies. After all, knowledge is either right or wrong. Superiority and inferiority do not come into the conversation. All researchers are just doing their best to shed light on the unknown in their respective fields, no matter what corner of the unknown they shed light on. Because I believe wholeheartedly in that principle, even if the others call my research useless, as long as the knowledge I gain from it is accurate, it could become useful in the future. In the end, useful and useless are concepts that shouldn't be used to evaluate knowledge. When I first started deciphering, that's why there's no need for me to join them to do useful research. I'd rather stay in Haravatat. It's much more convenient for me to access the materials I need for my research. Still, the funding that Kshahrewar has offered me is so hard to get in Haravatat. Perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore Haravatat and ask for a higher budget directly from the academia. Oh, I could come up with lots of ideas. You're right. Explanations are by using detailed and accurate illustration. Thank you. I'll take your opinion into account. See you in 2 days.
The seas are calm and the seas...
The damned will sooner die again than lay a hand on me.
Oh, you're here. We're just starting to set up the venue.
We've called up everyone we possibly could have. This is going to be quite...
My masterpiece is going to be exhibited after all. To sum up, the 24 forms of pressure-based puzzle mechanisms were used in various ruins. All right, let's go to the next page. Now, I'll explain the...
Are we done yet? Oh, I'm falling asleep.
I don't understand any of it.
Are these really toys?
They sound a bit too dangerous.
Oh,
Well, we've prepared paper prototypes for everyone. If you're interested in the mechanisms Madame Farazan's talked about, you're more than welcome to try them out.
Oh, this is no fun. Can I try another toy?
I want to go home and play Genius Invocation TCG.
Forget it. I don't think anyone would be interested.
I should go home and take care of my children.
How did this happen? Forget about getting opinions from others. No one even wanted to stay and try them out.
I'm sorry. I think we miscalculated.
No, you simply gave suggestions. I was the one who decided to follow through. Anise, too, was only following my instruction. I will find a way to make up for this error. Please, give me some time.
excuse me, but are you the one who wrote this reference book?
Ah, you're that man Mountain who was in the crowd just now.
Do I stand out that much? Well, I guess I don't look like someone who'd have anything to do with toys. Let me introduce myself. I'm Kamal, the branch master of Sumeru's Adventurers Guild.
What's the branch master doing here? Were you looking for
I came to Port Ormos to visit some old friends. On the way over, I saw the booklet you were handing out, so I came to take a look. Can you print a few more copies of this booklet and sell them to the Adventurers Guild? Also, could you make full-fledged models of those paper prototypes and sell them to us as well?
What does the Adventurers...
You may see them as toys, but to adventurers who need to deal with all sorts of machines and contraptions within ancient ruins, This booklet is a true treasure. We have many members who can't read, so books are of little use to them. What they know of handling mechanisms has been learned solely through word of mouth. Even if the Academia granted public access to all their books, there are people who can't use them.
Ah, and our booklet is practically all pictures.
Well, it is designed for children.
It might be a bit too difficult for children, but it's perfect for adventurers. Also, those paper strips, you called them paper prototypes? If you can make wooden versions for demonstration purposes, even the most illiterate person would be able to follow along and understand. If we can supply a model set for each branch, and if each adventurer carries a booklet with them, then ruin exploration will become much safer.
You really think so? I mean, yes. I always knew it. Knowledge will always be needed.
Making models of contraptions for the Adventurers Guild? To be honest, that sounds like a good avenue to explore to me.
We'll probably have to send in a separate application, but it shouldn't be an issue. After all, this concerns safety during the exploration of ruins. It's a problem that the Academia is actually trying to address as well.
Then let's cut to the chase and discuss the details of our first order. The amount we're offering to pay in advance is this much.
I'll be going then. Say hi, Anise. She's able to come. I'll do my best to teach her over. Well, her interests. I do have my research into mech. If she becomes my student to learn. However, if I successfully, perhaps if this collaborative. I could. You're right. It's better to make it. Thank you.
Oh, you're here.
We've called up every...
And if we activate, a Sumeru rose will appear at the top.
I thought it came out of thin air.
If the mechanism was bigger, you could make a rabbit appear, right?
Then you can't use a cane. Could you switch it out with a hat or something?
You're applying what you learned creatively. Not bad. Let's look at the next page. If you fold an origami bird like this, it'll fly further and more stably.
Whoa. You can make a mechanism using just a piece of paper?
The principles at play are even more...
These are pretty cool.
I'm not that interested.
Everyone, we have paper prototypes and craft materials that you can use to make your own toys. Come try them out.
This is such a well-prepared event.
But we want to play too.
It's fine. We have a lot of paper prototypes and craft materials. All feedback is also...
Oh! My origami bird flew further this time!
Professor Farazan? How can I make...
Just Madam will do. Maybe in the future, you may wish to pay attention to these few details.
Wow! It really did!
Madame Farazan, will we learn origami at the Academia? Of course you will. If you become a researcher, you can explore any in the future if you want. You can even become one of my students.
But Mom and Dad said that there are 6 Darshans in the Academia. Wait, which Darshan teaches about mechanisms?
Well, in this case, it wouldn't be Haravatat.
I know. We need to choose Kashar.
Huh?
I want to attend Kashara War in the future and fold even better or...
I want to make even more awesome mechanisms!
Actually, the other Darshans do have their own specialties, too. For example, Haravatat specializes in... Pay attention, children. Children? How did this happen?
What if we end up in a Darshan we don't like?
No, that won't happen. Take me, for example. I'm a researcher from Haravatat, but I research mechanisms. See? The only person able to restrict your curiosity as a researcher is you. Do you understand? It's all right. Let me tell you a story about...
What now? Master said there's... I feel for Matt, but if I get her in But if someone does... And if the Academe... Do you have some way to invite her over to Parties DI without stepping... Okay, then...
Huh. I have to teach students from Haravatat.
Madame Farazan, we're back! Sorry for asking again, but... Are you...
Well, since you're asking me so sincerely, let's just ignore it.
Please, Madame Farazan, focus. Today's the deadline. Huh?
Yes. I see. No wonder he sent you two over. Why, that lad didn't make it very clear in his letter, now did he? Otherwise, I would have reported it as part of my research.
Yeah, that's right!
Wait. Opportunities for collaborative research don't just come out of thin air. Also, there isn't much overlap between...
Master...
A fully automated irrigation system.
A fully automated irrigation?
Precisely. I saw a similar mechanism while exploring a rune in the rainforest. That's why Tainari wanted...
A mechanism?
Fret not.
An official proposal. I'll go inform my superiors now. Please do take care of the paperwork as soon as possible.
Sure. I'll be sure to needle him until he gets it done. Phew. I think she bought it. Even though this is our first meeting. I must say...
Wow!
Who knows? Huh? If I'm right...
You don't have to shout. I can hear you. Well, you got here much faster than I expected. I thought you'd have a lot more business to...
Thanks to the Traveler, I was able to, pawn off various problems of mine.
On to others? What does that mean?
We can discuss that later. You're looking for me because of the thing you mentioned in the letter, right?
That's right. Please. Don't be scared, Kale. This is the mechanical life form the Traveler and I saved a while back. Its name is Karkata. It's the final work of a late junior of mine.
You mean Abatui? He must have been a genius to create one of such polish all by himself. It's uncommon that a Spontamod researcher is able to create such an intricate machine. If he were still around, we could probably chat the day away. Something seems wrong here. Have you been maintaining it? Mechanical life forms are much more fragile than...
Karkata has been lying down like this since a few days ago. It could be an old malfunction acting up. I've taken a few courses conducted by Spontamod before, so I've managed to perform some passable repairs on Karkata's energy supply module. However, it seems the issue this time is with its transmission. My knowledge can only prevent its condition from deteriorating any further. But, Madame Faruzan, you should be...
Not necessarily. Mechanical life forms are created using techniques from alchemy, elemental science, and more. There are multiple modules here that influence each other. A simplistic knowledge. Each mechanical life form is very different from the next. So even I cannot be sure if my understanding of mechanical life forms is going to be of any use to our little crab friend here. Can you all go outside for a minute? I need a bit of space. Before I do a thorough check, everything we've just said is but conjecture.
All right. We're counting on you, Madame Faruzan. We'll wait here till Faruzan finishes her inspection. Her past, huh? Quite a few people in the academia know about what happened to her. Perhaps it'd be best if I'm the one to tell you. I've told you before that she disappeared for 100 years, right? From her perspective, trapped might be a more apt description. Her exact words were...
That ruin was crawling with traps and coded inscriptions from wall to wall. I did all I could to decipher the code and deactivate the traps to escape the ruin, but there was no way out. I lost track of time, and I ran out of pen and paper. In the end, I had to use stone shards to write on the walls and on the floor to decipher the code. Then, before I realized it, I ran out of space on the walls and floor. I had to calculate all the possibilities in my mind. After that, my memory started to become fuzzy, and my cognition slowed down.
She doesn't remember anything else, including the location of the ruin and how she finally managed to escape. When she was found in the outskirts of Sumeru a few years ago, she looked exactly the same as she did 100 years prior. However, she was in a stupor and struggled to form sentences. Only after... The academia speculates that she must have gotten trapped in an unknown ruin while researching machines a century ago. And because of the ruin's special properties that halted her aging, she was able to use those 100 years to crack the trapping mechanism and then escape. Though she had finally broken free, 100 years had passed. Everyone she knew, and everyone who knew her, was already gone. In the end, even the academia had to rely on century-old records in the Akasha to confirm her existence. Don't make that face. I'm not telling you this because I want to drum up sympathy. She wouldn't want others to pity her because of past events. Rather, she sees that period of entrapment as an experimental error. As a researcher, even after going through so much, she's returned to Sumeru and still hasn't given up on her research. Due to changes over the years and drift in academic subjects, she holds some rather strong opinions about the current What I want to say is that no matter what era we're in, Faruzan is a true senior researcher in every sense of the word. She has her own deep understanding of various ruins and machines. If there's a chance, you should talk about them with her.
Master, Madame Faruzan's done.
Oh? Let's head over. With any...
I never thought that I'd encounter a restitution module once again after 100 years. Abatui really installed quite a few impressive things on... If my guess is correct, this mechanical life form has displayed attempts at self-sustenance before, right? Such as collecting parts to repair itself, for instance?
It used them for something else, but as far as its design goes, it does have a function like that.
I knew it. If I'm not wrong, Karkata's issue lies with its restitution module. Abatui's modified this module extensively, but the core parts and design philosophy are very similar to the principles as I know them. They are all based on principles learned from the ruins. The creators of the Ruins machine once tried to create a perpetual mechanism that could replace life or even surpass it. The restitution module is the result of one of their countless attempts. It replicates the behavior of living things to achieve a self-repair function. However, the energy required in maintenance of the module became an issue.
Energy consumption? Maintenance?
For example, a living thing's heart can deliver nutrients and blood to various organs. However, the bigger the living thing, the more powerful the heart needs to be. Once the heart is damaged, it'll be hard for that living thing to heal itself, and even the function of other organs can be affected. Thus, the attempt wasn't widely adopted. Even 100 years ago, I'd only seen it once before. Oh dear. This is going to... Based on my current research, I'll need to swap out the damaged parts in the restitution module to repair Carcosa. But like I just said, the module is rare, even by the standards of ancient machines. Not only that, but there is very little related research documentation available. Finding suitable parts would be like trying to find a single gear in the vast desert, to say nothing of the difficulty in making those... One can only wonder where Abatui found the original parts.
I might have an idea. Abatui was, for a time, quite passionate about excavating the Great Red Sand. This was when he had just gotten expelled from the academia.
You mean to say he found a restitution module in the desert?
But the desert's huge! How are we supposed to find the parts that Carcosa needs?
According to the academia's records, no similar parts have been found in the Great Red Sand over the past 100 years. If we want to try our luck, we'll have to explore ruins that have never been explored before.
I do know that a Vahumana researcher formed an expedition team after the sandstorms and earthquakes subsided. They are now exploring areas of the desert that used to be difficult to access.
Should we ask them if they've made any new discovery?
The chances are slim, but it's at least more effective than running around like
His name is Raid. I think he's stationed at the northeast part of the hypostyle.
Oh, you and Kale should probably stay. Carcosa's condition may be stable, but it would still be better if some of us stay to look after it. Besides, you still need to take care of the trouble that the academia left for me.
Trouble from the academia? I thought you said you pawned it off to someone else. Wait.
I'll let Kale fill you in on the details. I look forward to seeing your work, Tainari.
Trainee Force... This is...
What is this?
Halt! Mr. Raid's permission is required to proceed any further. That still won't do. Mr. Raid told us to keep people away from the ruins so they don't damage the site.
Damage the site? I've excavated more ruins than you've visited restaurants. Which batch of students is Raid from? I want to see him right now.
He isn't at the campsite now. You should all leave. Only he can give you permission to enter.
What a stubborn guy. You're right. Even if there is new information, we still have to wait for him to come back so we can ask him about it. So let's just see what we can find out from the people. I'm going to give that Raid a good talking to when he gets back. Starting from who in the world mentored you?
Halt! Mr. Ra
That machine looks amazing. Could it be the legend? The location seems...
The ruins. Don't know anything. Forget excavation. They won't even let us get close to the camp where they're staying.
This area used to be ravaged by... They say that this was done by a...
Well, I found out everything I could. Is there anything that stands out to you? Ruin Wanderer. It's a bit far...
Huh? What are you guys doing back here? I wouldn't blame you for not knowing about it, youngsters. After all, it's a tale that's over a decade old. It's said that this monster, the Ruin Wanderer, traversed through various ruins for centuries. Many adventurers had claimed to see it while exploring. Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast. However, none knew why it wandered the ruins. Then, about 10 years ago, we stopped hearing any news about it in Sumeru. No one has seen it since then, and the legend has since... You youngsters probably don't know about the Ruin Wanderer nowadays, but it was famous for centuries.
Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then. It could only have been around for a few decades at most.
Wait, back then?
Indulge my curiosity for a moment. Why do you think that wreckage is the Ruin Wanderer?
Well, I had also heard that secondhand from...
You heard that nonsense from the Eremites after they got drunk, right? Madam Faruzan, it is a pleasure. I'm Raid, the one who organized this archaeology. I'd heard of you at the Academia, but I didn't expect to run into you here. And this must be the famous traveler, I presume.
Have you found any special contraptions and relics in the ruins that you...
I'm ashamed to say that we haven't found anything noteworthy, even though we've been investigating for a while.
Really? That Ruin Wanderer isn't noteworthy?
I'm afraid those are mere rumors. Really, I sometimes wish that those people would put as much effort into their work as they do into gossiping.
You're right, sir. I'll get back to work now.
The wise do not buy into rumors, so it is said. I believe that you too, Madam Faruzan, do not put any stock into such baseless talk.
It is also said that real knowledge... You can take credit for any new...
However, you two must be tired after a long journey. I'd feel bad if I set you to work immediately. It's getting late and my subordinates and I are heading back to the camp to rest. Why don't you find a place to spend the night first? There's a tent that the villagers occasionally use to rest. It's a bit simple, yes, but I hope...
Since you need to rest as well, let's do just that. This is quite far away. Are they trying to prevent the villagers from eavesdropping on them? This suits us just fine, though. This way, they won't overhear our conversations either. Now, I have my suspicions about this archaeological expedition team and that machine, but based on the condition of the armor and joint... Yes. How do you suppose it was able to That's right. Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, well, this was over 100 years ago. It also helped me deliver letters home. I found it near the desert, which is why I wondered if there might be more Honestly, people in ancient times might have already solved the problem of providing had I confronted if the wreckage were... Anyway, they insisted that... Are those sounds coming from the excavation site? I knew they wouldn't be able to wait. They must be scared that we might discover something. Not a single person. I'll see if they left any clues behind if they're... All right.
Why isn't the tent here yet? We need to switch it out tonight.
It's still on the way. I'm afraid this is the first time we're delivering such a huge one.
You good-for-nothings are just a load of trouble, aren't you? We wouldn't have to deal with these interlopers if you had kept those lips of yours from flapping. Hurry up and hide our current tent and deliver the new one to me tonight, no matter what.
Huh? Who's there?
I'm sorry. I'm just a bit upset because my subordinates aren't doing their jobs properly. When did you get here? It's nothing. Someone damaged our current tent, so the relics in the ruins are high. Speaking of, also, where's...
I'm right here. Also, you forgot to address me as Madam.
Sorry.
You were all making so much noise that Good. Come on, yes. We should get better rest so that we'll...
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory,